Okay, here is day 6. Yay. Thank you for not giving up. Keep moving. Let's keep moving. We can do this. All right. So day 6 is a colorful day, is a day of joy, is a day of fun. All right. So that's why I call it day 6 off-screen activities. It's time to take action. It's time to start doing things. Okay. So I love today, and because it's a day to actually start working on things, doing some activities with your family and with your kids. They need this. They need this time out with you. They want to spend time with you. Okay, and kudos to all you moms here. All of you are doing well. All of you are doing well. It's just that for life there is always a room for improvements. Okay, so we will still keep improving ourselves. So today we're talking of off-screen activities, the activities we can do off-screen. A lot of people have been asking questions, what are the things that I can do with my children? Okay, and I know we're already used to one. Okay, and that particular one is reading, and I'll get to that. But the one I want to mention today is arts and craft. And why do we talk about off-screen activities? Off-screen activities have a way of making us or making the children actually to bond, then develop certain skills they need. Okay, certain skills they need. Not that watching screen they will not learn one or two things, but how about things they can handle with their hands? I'm talking about hand motor skills. Okay, before you give a child a pencil, have you given him certain things that will allow his wrists, okay, to move? Screwing of things, using building blocks. These are really good, and it all enhances their brain function. So this is why we are talking about off-screen activities, and it helps the children in so many ways. Before now, we didn't have screens. We didn't have screens. Our grandparents, they didn't have screens, and they never lacked anything to do for fun. They always had a way. So I believe outside the TV, outside the screen, they can actually find things they can do. And one thing that excessive screen, watching excessive screen has done is that it has prolonged all children in sitting for a long time. It has made them to sit down for a long period of time, and this is predisposing them to sedentary lifestyle. And we know what sedentary lifestyle does. It's now the new smoking. Okay, sitting has become the new smoking, and it's wrong for them to be sitting down for a long time. At least children should be able to move for a minimum of 60 minutes every day. Scientifically, they're supposed to move. This is the time for their muscles to develop very well. And this has resulted in children developing premature cardiac arrest. You hear children slumping. This is one of the reasons. They sit for a long period of time on their game console, playing one game or the other. And their heart is not pumping. The vessels that should pump the blood to their heart is not getting enough supply of blood, and the blood is slowed down. The blood pumping has slowed down, and it's not getting to the heart. And what will happen? There will be a cardiac arrest, and this is not good. How much more is happening to adults? How much more our children? So they need to move. So one thing these activities will do is that it gets them moving, and they need to exhaust this energy. Sitting down one place, we're not helping them. They have so much energy, and they need to exhaust it. And when they don't exhaust it, they start doing some other things that can be harmful to them within the home. And that's why we need to be creative about it, meaning that we need to create a time where we teach them how to play. All right, so you don't just dump that toy with them. Teach them how to use the toy to play. They don't know. Okay, sometimes you may need to. Some can figure out. All right, but then how about you getting down on the floor with them and show them what to do, and they will love you for it. They will love you for it. So that's why I keep saying parenting is hard. It's hard, but when you're equipped, you can do it better. So arts and craft is so good. It helps in the children being very creative. It helps them to develop certain skills, provide them paper, anything, all right, that has to do with art. You can get them cardboard, especially the children that cannot handle scissors. Please don't give them scissors. There is also a kid-friendly plastic scissors they can use, okay, where they can do some craft work, put their hands on a paper, and create things. They can actually do a lot of stuff, all right. Get them crayons, get them a lot of things they can paint. So this way you would be, in fact, they will wow you. By the time they start dishing out a lot of things, you will be surprised. And there are a lot of books that they can go through, all right. They can use to create their own art and learn how to create art. There are a lot of art and craft books out there you can get for your children, no matter their age. Is really good. Art and craft is really, really beautiful. Then secondly, house chores. I know they can make a mess when you are trying to help you. Well, how can they learn? All right. So when we try to take away these chores from them and do all these things for them, okay, we might need to hire nannies, but then they're also not learning for themselves. And there's something that house chore gives them a sense of responsibility. The children has this sense of responsibility that they are adding value to the house. So when they, even as young as 2, when they scatter their toys, get them to pick their toys. Join them in picking up their toys. When they scatter paper, let them join them in picking up the paper. All right? That way they know that we need to keep our environment clean. Every child can actually contribute, and the earlier they start it, the better, because if they don't learn how to do these chores now that most of them are young, when they get old, they will not agree with you. That's why we're having problems with our teenagers. Some of them, they don't want to do anything because when they were young, they were not doing them, and they don't even know. Some of them are so scared, they're hiding under being inefficient, and they rebel because they know they cannot do it well. So start early, and then if you didn't start early, there's still opportunity for you to talk to them gradually so that they know that they need to join you even in cooking. Get them to cook with you, all right. Tell them that they are small chefs. That's what I told my children. I said, you are the small chefs, so we're going to prepare this meal. Even children that don't love to eat, you find they will start eating because they will see the energy you put in making that food. Get them to make that food with you. Let them cut that onions. Yes, it will hurt their eyes. Yes, it's good. It's good for their eyes. All right. So get them to do these things, and when they are used to it, they will be very, very helpful around the house. So it's not everything that you should give the nanny to do. Let them do that for you. You are training them, and they are going to be helpful to you as well. Okay. So that's for that. We have another. Reading is so powerful. There's nothing as calming as reading. Okay, so when you get them books that they love, books they can relate with. Don't get them books they cannot relate with. Get them colorful books, get them picture books, so that they can read. And then you have to start by reading to them. Don't leave everything for the teacher. Let's read to your children. Spend time in reading with them. They will appreciate the habit of reading through you, and it's so powerful. Reading develops their mind, makes them so matured, and they'll start thinking. It engages their brain. All right, it's so beautiful. Reading has a way of improving the brain of our children. So get them to read books, different kinds of books. It shouldn't just be storybooks. It could be books on history. It could be biographies. They can learn a lot. I remember giving my son a book written by Joel Osteen, and he's taken to the book, and he's taken to love Joel Osteen as a man. All right, and then and he started relating. All right, so I pick out certain topics within the book that will benefit him, and he's really been enjoying it. Okay, so these are some of the things we can do, and aside reading, we have fun games that your children can indulging. They can do a lot of stuff, hide and seek games. There are lots of them. I'm going to share it on the screen. You go out there and practice with your children. Teach them this game. They don't know them. We were luckier, all right, during our own generation, where your playmate can teach you some new games. Most times they don't even know, and the ones they know is the one on screen. So get them moving, some of these games make them move, and it teaches them also social skills, okay, working in a team, how to work with a team and all that is so beautiful. Then we have hobbies. Let them develop hobbies of maybe playing musical instruments like keyboard, violin. This music is so good for the soul, it's so good for their mind, it can be so calming. They can learn these skills and it enhances their brain development. Then lastly, we have unstructured play. Unstructured play is so beautiful. That is, you give them lots of different toys, and allow them to create with it. One of them is like the brick games. They can create a lot of things with it, and it's also good to leave them to have, play with their dolls. Okay, it's also very good. It enhances their imagination and it's very good for brain development. These are some of the plays, meaning that it's not planned. They can just design things on their own. It enhances their creativity. I remember putting away the screen for my children for a very long time. I was so surprised the kind of things they were creating, the kind of things they were dishing out with. I was like, wow, so you have this in you. So you don't know how much your child, and it gives them opportunity to be innovative. Those times they come to you and tell you they are bored, tell them to go and create something. Boredom is the new freedom. It's really beautiful. It gives them opportunity to think. The mind should not always be occupied all the time. Sometimes we need to free it up, and that is the time their inner genius emerges. That is the time that thing that is inside of them can come to light. So allow them to have those unstructured play. Then we have brain games. Like we have our puzzles. These are brain games. It develops their cognition, their ability to think. Chess, all those type of games. You have lots of them listed out there. Go practice it. Go and play. Mom, don't be too serious. Don't be too hard on yourself. Go and play. We need to play. So go play with them and let's see what happens. Go to the stores. All of these, most of them are in the stores. Ludo games, all of them. You buy them as many as you can buy, but then make sure you're playing with them. Because when you play with them, they are looking at you, they're observing you, they're learning that this is another way they can recreate. All right, then have balls, throw balls within the house. Create a place they can throw balls. They can do a lot of things. Dancing, they can move their body. It's so good. Anything that has to do with movement. You find out that child that doesn't like to take nap, that 3-year-old, by the time he moves, jumps around, put a music for him and let him dance, he will sleep. So that he can, when he takes that nap, that's the time for you to also relax. So that is so crucial. And let's see what happens. Thank you for listening. Bye.